The Italian president has asked the former head of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, to form a new government after the collapse of former Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte's coalition government. President Sergio Mattarella said that Italy needs a high-profile government to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic and the worst economic crisis in decades. The development comes after politicians failed to agree a coalition following the resignation of Prime Minister Conte. The former Prime Minister resigned last week after losing his Senate majority. This restricted his ability to perform government business and prevented him from forming a new coalition. Draghi will now have to put forward an administration that leaders support. President Mattarella summoned Draghi to Rome's historic palace, giving him the mandate. The Italian president said that he hopes the former European Bank chief will break Italy's parliamentary stalemate. In a brief statement after accepting the challenge, Draghi said Italy was indeed facing a difficult moment and that it was time for unity. Understandably, all eyes are now on Mario Draghi. Fondly known as Italy's Super Mario, Draghi is credited with having saved the euro during the peak of Europe's 2012 debt crisis. And now the job of pulling Italy out of a medical, financial and political crisis falls on Mario's shoulders. Italy has registered over 89,000 coronavirus-related deaths. The European nation is trying to ramp up its vaccination campaign and must report back to the EU how it plans to spend the recovery funds. Joining us on this broadcast now is the Deputy Rector for Internationalization and Professor for International Affairs at LUIS, that's a university in Rome. And we are now being joined by Rafael Marchetti from Rome, and we'll be going across to him any moment. Mr. Marchetti, welcome to WION. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Super Mario has one of the most difficult jobs in Italy, isn't it? Does he have the support to form the new government?
Well, these are extraordinary moments, and it's not the first time in Italian history that the President of the Republic decide to call in a technocrat. This has happened in the past, last time with Mario Monti, again, a former EU commissioner. There is a wide expectation that he will be able to collect a wide support from both center-left and center-right parties, and will be able to manage both the health crisis and especially the huge amounts of funding coming through the recovery fund provided by the European Union. So there is really a great support for the moment for his appointment.
But where do you feel that Draghi might succeed where Giuseppe Conte's 17-month-old coalition failed?
Because precisely because he's not a politician, he can gather support from both sides of the political spectrum. Plus, there is also a wide, I would say, extra political support. Large segments of state administration are supporting him. There is a wide international support for him, both in the US and in many European EU countries. In fact, the Italian stock exchange and the spread rate went positive yesterday, signaling a broad international support for this nomination.
Right. Now, he is being termed as Eurozone savior and credited with saving the euro earlier. And he faces similar challenges now in home in Italy, isn't it? Because Italy's gross domestic product shrank by 8.8% in 2020. And it's the steepest annual drop since World War II. Yes, the world is facing a health crisis. But also important is the economic recovery from this pandemic, isn't it? And what is the time frame that Draghi has to form his new government?
Well, days, weeks, or even better days. There is an extreme urgency in a matter of 2 months and a half. Italy needs to present a detailed plans for how Italy is going to use the funding that is coming from the European Union. So time is very short. Plus, soon there will be the opening of the discussion for the re-election of the President of the Republic, which is a key position in the Italian political system. So there are a number of deadlines that are coming very soon. So he needs to create and set up the government really within days. But of course, I mean, the discussion about this has been going on for some time, discreetly. So it is not that he starts from today to build a government. There were preliminary conversation about this possibility in the past few weeks.
Mr. Marchetti, thank you so much for joining us from Rome and getting us all the latest on this developing situation in Italy.